Good morning. What day is it today? Haggy?
Wednesday, I think.
Is it Wednesday? We think it's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. So, what's happening today, Haggy?
Usual stuff.
Parts.
It's been one of the mornings, put it that way, so. Yeah.
But you went out in an Evo yesterday and tested an Evo. You're happy with the Evo?
Yeah, happy with Evo.
It's getting collected today, isn't it?
Tonight, I think.
Cool.
So.
Right, let's go and see what's going on in the workshop. Actually, Chris.
Hello.
What are you doing today? You've got
couple of cars on the Dyno, yeah. Stuart's GTR, the red Mercedes as well.
Yeah.
And catching up on my emails as well. So yeah.
Cool. So we're going to go and see Ashton. If you're watching, Stuart's car is on this feature. So we've got Ben and Kyle diagnosing this air trek. Seems to be some sort of vibration from the front. So. And then on the dyno, we've got Stuart Wiggins R35 GTR that's came over winter for some repairs, so it's just on trickle charge now. So Ashton, there you go. The car is on the channel. So yeah, we should see later some dyno pulls with Chris. I'm going to go in the workshop now and see what people's up to in the workshop as well. Back at the workshop, we've got this GTR. I think we talked about it the other day, but we had to take it off. It's going up now to get the gearbox removed. We've also got Warren's car that we're going to start with as well, and we're going to start finishing off this big spec 2,300 horsepower Russian monster. Engine's built, gearbox is built. We're going to start assembling that over the next few weeks as well, along with Warren's car. So there's going to be a lot of progression on these two cars over the next few weeks. Dean is wrapping up Paul's Audi TTRS, so he's busy working on that at the minute. So we'll go and speak to Dean and see what he's up to as well on that. And behind me we've got Jan working on Ali's R33. He's doing all the wiring, sensors, all for safety, oil pressure sensor, air temp, fuel pressure, and he's obviously doing some custom pipes with Ben as well, so that's what Jan's working on at the minute. Obviously Jan's got a lot of experience in the RB platform as well, so he's getting basically all the old school Japanese cars at the minute. So let us go and see what Dean is doing around the back. Dean, what are you building?
Just changing the CV boot on the Cameron's drive shafts.
Yeah. So basically just doing all the little niggles, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Getting it ready for dyno.
There we go. Dean is ahead of the game. Let's go and check the engine room and see what's happening in the engine room. Right, in the engine room, going to see what Jimmy's doing. I can see he's already started stripping Richard's fire damage engine that he sent us to GM to get forged. I'm just going to show you some of the bits that are coming off. Jimmy's going to make me a massive list, I presume, and see what's salvageable, what can be blasted, what can be cleaned. So let's see what the engine looks like.
Doesn't look very good, sir.
Is this engine salvageable?
No.
Jimmy says no.
No. It looks, obviously, when the
Let me turn it around and show Jimmy.
fire brigade have put it out, this bank's better than that bank, but there's water being sat in the cylinders.
So Jimmy,
So, hello, man.
the fire engine, does it look like the block is knackered?
Yeah, it's, I mean, to be fair, the block itself will probably measure right, but it's the water that's been through the cylinders has pitted the steel of the cylinder wall. Once you've got pit in there, you're never going to get a good piston ring seal. So unfortunately,
You think the block is no good?
it's looking no good. I'll know more when the pistons
Yeah.
are out, but at a glance it's not looking very good, man.
Yeah, so we'll probably have to send it off just to get a check, won't we? See if they can hone it or maybe...
No, I mean, I can hone here.
There you
but
go, we can do it here.
You can't hone them in a normal conventional way because of the construction of the cylinder walls. The plasma coated, so it's not a press-in liner, which a lot of people think they are. It's plasma coated, so it's a process where steel is added to the aluminium.
Well, the Nickersill line, these are not?
No, Nickersill's a different process,
Right.
so that'll be what it would actually be a coated aluminium bore,
Cool.
whereas this is steel.
So-
And then brought to size, which gives you your block gradings. Then that's it.
I guess the other option is we could potentially always sleeve it for future.
You could do,
because these blocks are now like £3,000, aren't they?
They are. I mean,
So, but sleeving costs similar to that. To one of them ones. What do you do, isn't
It's
it?
one of those things. I mean, a new block, they're a phenomenal thing. Very, very strong. A lot of people say, oh, if you get to this power, you've got to go this, you've got to do that, you've got to do that. But generally, the standard block with the correct modifications, the correct measurements, the correct build, the correct assembly, and the correct clearances is actually very, very capable.
Yeah, and we've tested them here. So built right, they'll last a long time. If you maintain them, they'll last a long time. I'm going to let Jimmy crack on, and then I'll come back to see what his thoughts are. We have got another few VR38 blocks up here, I believe. One's the...
And it smells.
This one is the GTO, isn't it?
Yeah, 6072.
Do you know what? It almost looked like a mini VR38 for a second.
I'd
you know-
imagine there'll be an element of architecture.
Yeah, because I actually looked at them. I don't know what you guys think if you know them, but for a second, I actually thought it was like a mini VR38. They do look very similar. Obviously, they're not, but just at first glance, I thought, oh, hang on.
Down heavy.
Yeah, steel, isn't it? Cool. Right, let's go and see what else I can report. So Scott's working on the Celica at the minute. Obviously, we've got the car running as you saw in the last video, and then when it started ran, unfortunately, one of the lines perished and split, and we had a fuel leak. But so that's because obviously the car's been sitting for a long time. So he's away to repair that, and then he's going to go back onto it. So we'll keep you posted. So Darren, we're working on the car. It's causing a few little issues. Obviously, that's what happens once it runs. You don't know what else is there, but the good thing is it's pretty solid underneath the car. So I'm looking forward to see what it drives like once we get a chance to drive it. So back to the middle workshop. I've got Ben, who is doing a fantastic job in this R32. So Ben, what's the plans with the 32 today?
I'm going to get this front end bolted up, and then I'm going to mount the steering rack, and then I'm going to get the engine in its final position and then mock up the engine mount.
Yeah, so as you heard there, Ben, he's basically going to finish this up, and he's going to basically put this in its home, isn't it, permanently?
That's it.
Not this engine, of course, but he's going to like mount it up how it's going to sit. And what's after that then, Ben, do you think?
I haven't thought that far about
Yeah, I would probably say you've done the radiator, haven't you already?
it. Yeah, actually mount the intercooler and get the bumper mounted as well.
Yeah, so intercooler and radiator and bumper mounted, so he's going to do all that next. And then you'll see some nice fancy pipework from Ben coming as well. So, yeah, it's getting progress pretty well, isn't it? Happy with it so far, aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so again, don't forget to look at Ben's page as well, give him some support on that page as well. Get his followers. You got quite a few followers now, haven't you?
800 or something.
Yeah, come on, let's get him to 1,000, guys. Right, if you've watched this video, go to his page, 1,000 likes. Let's go and see what Kyle's doing. Kyle.
Yo.
Another GTR. This is Parbs, he's just finishing it up, aren't you?
Yeah.
So he's fixed the gearbox with a billet nose cone, he's just doing a final check really, he's getting the exhaust on, trays and what have you. So that's Parbs Stealth GTR, and then after this, Jan's going to fit a more tech dash, and then it's going to my good friend Adrian for a carbon roof install. What a nice GTR that is, eh? Monster. Let's go back to the main workshop and see what's happening in there. Back to the main workshop. So we've got that Ali's 33 that Jan's working on. A little update on that. We're doing a custom trigger kit on it, so Jan's going to set that up, wire it up. He's got to do some fabrication with Ben, as I said this morning. So if I get time, I will show you later what that is, the trigger kit for those who don't know. And now going to Scott. Scott's now back. Earlier on he was away. Did you manage to get that pipe sorted?
I did, yes.
And it's on as well?
It's on.
Right,
It's
so
been
I
running.
can't show you. So it runs, yeah?
It runs.
So the car runs again. It's still running. Now you're just finishing it off, aren't you?
Yep, we've got a bumper fit. I can't imagine it was an easy part to source for the customer. But we have got one here to replace. I'm just in the middle of replacing it now. Get a couple of things finished off and hopefully get it back to the customer.
Yeah, but we need MOT it first, don't we? So do you think we should be done today, shouldn't we?
Should be.
Yeah, so the car should be ready today for us to take it for a test, and then it's a case of what the tester finds wrong with it. Scott has gone through it, so it should be okay.
Should be alright, yeah.
Should be alright for an MOT. It's obviously an old car, so like emissions are a little bit different. But yeah, so like I say, this should be ready for testing soon. I'm going to go and see Dean quickly as well, see what he's up to. I believe he's got the engine in now. Engine is in. I think the customer wants about 1200 horsepower. Dean is hiding somewhere, but I think he's avoiding us. But I'll go and see if I can find him. There he is. Found him. Dean. How's it going? I know it's small, engine's in.
Yeah, just checking the fluids now. Should be ready to start in next hour or so.
Bloody hell, he's miles ahead. I was hoping for a Friday starter, but that's good.
No, hopefully today.
And then he's on to that next, aren't you?
Oh, this the Subaru.
Big project, that one.
Very big.
Yeah, but obviously
fun.
Dean knows what he's doing.
Should be fun.
So he's going to get this on, and then... Actually, Dean, I'm just thinking you should be able to fire this up anyway, shouldn't you? Because we've already got the startup map, haven't we?
Yeah, it remains already done base mapping, so...
Yeah, so we should
start.
be able to fire it and then just check for everything. Yeah. And then after that, once it's fired up, we're going to... He's got some carbon doors to go on, hasn't he?
Carbon doors, tilt seats, all the extra stuff, wheels and stuff. So.
Cool. So there we go. It's been a long time coming, but we're nearly there now. Cool. Have a little spy in the engine room, see what Jimmy's found. The engine has now disappeared from there. It's no longer there. It is there. It's actually nice and warm in here. I love coming in here because it's hot. That is that engine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gathering a report now, aren't you? Yeah. Heads are getting apart. Let me just zoom into that.
It's not looking very pretty.
The heads as well.
Valves.
Valves.
It's sat with so much water in.
The pitted, has
Clean
it?
the rust off. It's pitted, which is going to create hot spots, which is then inherently going to burn the valve. So I'm going to go through this head, go through the next head. Even the valves were seized into the guides. It's not looking very good for it.
Yeah, so probably it's going to take a bit more labour time, isn't it, to do this one?
A lot more, mate.
Yeah, so there we go.
It's got to be right.
I presume, would you be able to save the
casting
heads
itself will be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Cool. I've still got to go over the ports, the seats, just to make sure everything's as good as it can be. We may have to cut the seats if the pitting's too deep. Yeah. But I'll not know until get further through it.
So if anybody's after a block that wants to sleeve it, this is for sale, because I'm going to speak to the customer. We're probably going to have to buy a new block. So yeah, there's the old pistons. Again, this engine was involved in a fire or something, a stock car. I don't know the full story on it. So there was no like bent rods or nothing like that. It was just obviously an accident with a fire. I don't know anything about the car, to be fair. If it was standard or modified, but the engine's stock. So was the crank any good, Jimmy?
The crank's really good.
Crank's really good, yeah?
Yeah, the crank's absolutely fine.
So there's a crank there. Billet girdle as well that he's got.
Bearings were starting to show colour.
Yeah.
So it was definitely due for a refit.
Do you think it was a high mileage engine or?
It's hard to say. Looking at the bearing wear, you'd think it's either been poorly serviced or was a high mileage car. But looking at the colour of inside the casings, I mean,
they look clean, them though. I'm just going to spin that round and show you.
So
if you follow the page, those are clean, aren't they?
Mega
they haven't seen a lot of heat because normally they're black, aren't they?
Yeah, well, it's normally poor amount of poor quality oil or irregular oil changes or long intervals in between.
And then you would think if it wasn't serviced right, you would think that was black as well, wouldn't you?
That's the strange thing.
Yeah,
it's a really, really strange engine. As you say, we don't quite know the history. I think part of its problem is it's sat outside.
Yeah.
There's now a lot more water damage than there would be had a fire been put out in a car.
So Richard, if you're watching, drop us a comment. I was on the phone with you this morning, which was quite spooky because we were working on your car earlier than expected. And yeah, that's it for now for the engine room. I think Jimmy is doing something else tomorrow. I can't remember what it is, but I'll come and update tomorrow what he's up to. And he is hitting holiday soon as well, which I'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, probably in the next video, tell you where he's going. So while I've got a little opportunity here, that is the trigger kit. Obviously Jan actually designed that. We've got that made locally. So these are the GM trigger kits that we have. And as you can see, probably down there, See the... That's also custom as well. I think we're waiting for 2 sensors as well. They're going to be arriving. Chris has ordered them. And then basically Jan's also going to modify this pipe and the inlet pipe here as well. But obviously I'll do a picture when he's done the job. And also there's a lot of wiring to do as well, a lot of safety sensors. So this engine's an RB30 and I think the customer wants 700 horsepower, but I don't know if that turbo is going to make 700 horsepower when I'm looking at it. But let's see, yeah? Will that car make 700 horsepower? We'll have to find out in a couple of weeks. No, actually, we'll find out next week, but obviously the video will be the week after. That's why I said a couple of weeks. Right, I'm heading back to the office. Chris is away out for an MOT, and I'm going to go and do some office work now. So, this is Dale, our guy who cleans the cars and preps them, so when you get your cars nice and clean, he's the man behind it. He's just busy cleaning the trophies and so I've just caught him there. He's a good worker, always crafting hard. So, we've got one of our neighbours called V, and he's going to show us something. Dean, you're going to appreciate this.
Oh, we'll see.
So you'll see. Right now you're going to love this because he came in the other day and showed me. So V, tell us, what is your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is Boy of Creation. You know, if you like what I do, go subscribe. Well, I haven't uploaded in a while, but
yeah.
I'll think about it if I get wrong.
Have you got Instagram as well?
I do, yes.
What is that?
That is Komi_Hyodo. It's there'll be a link in the description, right?
Yeah. And are you American?
No.
He sounds American, doesn't he? If you think he sounds American, put in the comments. But anyway, he's going to do something. I think Dean's going to love it. So what is it you're going to do for her?
Well, I'm going to do car sounds.
Yeah, and which one?
Well, let's see.
Do the one we did the other day, yeah? Because Dean will like that.
So I came in a few days ago and I did a VTEC sound. With pops and bangs and all that. You know?
Let's go.
Right.
There we go. What do you reckon, Dean?
That was impressive.
It was pretty good, wasn't it? He's actually got other cars, so if you want to see him do some more, he's actually just over the road, and he's happy to just come into our channel and do a couple of noises. What other ones do you do?
I can do like a GTR noise.
R35?
Yeah, I can also do a V10.
RX-7s?
Rotaries are a bit of a,
There we go.
bit of a touch and go one.
Subarus?
Still
Anyway,
another-
put it in the comments, and the ones that well, the most popular one is we'll get V to do it. Alright, cheers V.
No problem, man.
Cheers buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Right, we're going to go now.
Get back to work.
We've got to get him, send him back to work because his boss is going to be wondering where he is.
Yeah.
So, don't know. It's quite bright now. I would say, there we go. Parv's car's getting a wash. This is a 7.7 second street GTR. Dale's just giving it a nice clean. So next up on Parv's car, we're going to put a roof. There's Jan leaving. I'm going to put a roof on it, carbon roof. I love that spoiler as well, really nice. But let's go and check what's going on in the dyno. So I'm with Chris. Chris, what's happening here?
I don't know if you'll hear this because of the GTR, but got Stuart's car. I know I keep looking at you, I should look at the camera. Drop down, do some power runs.
Yeah, we're going to do a bit of power run.
Yeah.
And we're literally doing this for you, Ashton, if you're listening. Yeah. So there you go.
Let's get strapped down.
So Ashton, as you're watching, I hope you've told your dad, like this power run's costing him a bit more money now. I'm just joking. But yeah, here we go. I'll come back in a bit when Chris is ready.
A few moments later.
Good morning, it's Thursday at JM, another busy day in the house. We'll have some lovely donuts brought in by Mr. Kev. Thank you very much, Kev. So Kev's busy doing some editing. And Haggy,
Oh, how is it going?
back on the computer.
Back on the computer, yeah. Tea in hand.
Tea in hand.
Busy day. Lewis, your parts are ordered for your build, the RB25. Also some Nismo parts. So yeah, all's what today.
We'll let you crack on. Let's go and see what the guys are doing at the workshop. We've had 2 GTRs arrive today as well. So let me give you a little update of what's happening with them GTRs as well. So in the dyno we've got a very rare Mercedes that Chris is working on. This is the one that will repair the throttle. So Chris is going to do a little pull soon. Maybe it's now. That's if he's fixed it. Come back, I think he's setting up the calibration on it. So what he's doing is basically calibrating the dyno to suit. So he's not doing a run as such, so I'm just going to let him be for now. And then we've got the Audi S8. I've got someone coming to view this on Friday, so we're just going to give it a quick once over and get it ready for the viewing. So the 2 GTRs that arrived today. Oh, it's bright here, let me just adjust this. Oh no, it's alright now. Is Stevens GTR boost. So that one came today for service. We built this in 2021, so it's the first time it's been back to GM for a service. It's still on stock gearbox as well, so it's obviously running well. I'm surprised the gearbox hasn't went yet, but if you've managed to cap the torque on these, you can actually get a bit of life out of them as well. Let me show you the other GTR that's just come in as well. There's the GTR there. So that GTR's got a HKS turbo kit, forged engine. Apparently it sees, so we're going to have a look, see what it needs. It's a guy called James. I don't know much about the car, but we'll certainly find out why it's gone. So yeah, let's go and see now what Ben is up to in the workshop. So I'm with Ben again, having a look at this 32. So you can see the gearbox is in right behind us. The engine is mounted up and Ben is doing something with my turbo, so let's go and chat to Ben and see what's going on. Ben,
Right.
I can see you're holding some nice turbos there.
Aye,
What's happening today then, Ben?
We're just busy working out whereabouts we're going to be putting the turbo locations, whether it's going to be front mounted or rear mounted.
Okay, so that's a decision really for you to take, isn't it, really?
We need to work out if there's going to be clearance for the engine mounts, the intake pipes. There's like a lot of things that
It's a bit of a headache. Obviously we can't be buying, because this is Project Frankie, we can't really be buying 15 grand manifolds and turbos. We've got to use what we've got with GTR parts, so Ben's the man who's going to create something to make it work. So what do you think you're going to go for?
I think I'm going to try and modify the standard manifolds and do front mount turbos.
There we go. Let's see what Ben gets up to then. Keen to see what the progress now, are you?
Yeah, I should start flying now.
Yeah, so Ben's next job is basically modify the manifolds to fit. Yeah, and then once you've got that fitted, then we can send the turbos off to be machined to be bigger size. Right, I'm going to leave Ben alone because he's got lots of work to do.
Yeah,
See you later, Ben. So, Chris, I always see you on the floor.
Exactly, you always come and get us
So,
in the worst
is it
possible
fixed?
conditions. It's running, it's certainly fixed in terms of the throttle issue that it had. This car's got a Kleeman Supercharger kit on, fitted, I believe, pretty much from the factory, so the car was new, then delivered to them to be tuned. and it's apparently going to make 568 brake horsepower, but it's not.
No.
So
What did it make?
it made only 300 and...
Whoa!
348
That's
wheel,
quite a lot down
which is
here.
like, yeah, it's in the 400s, I think.
So did you say this is supercharged?
Supercharged.
So do you think there's an issue with the charger?
That's what I'm about to check now. So
Right.
obviously we've got a lot of data for these. This isn't our speciality. It is a 2003 car as well, so we haven't got a lot of tech
Yeah.
that communicates with it. So I'm going old school. I'm going to check the FRs. I'm going to check what boost it's making, and then we've been talking with Kleeman in Canada because they've also got a Canadian headquarters. Good guy there who's been there 20 odd years. I'm going to give him the data and just say, is that right?
Yeah.
And go from there.
So basically, he's just going to check the boost levels to see.
See the superchargers
Basically, yeah. So what?
doing anything or doing what it should be doing.
Yeah. So we're going to check the target boost, see what it is, and then Chris will have a look. Obviously, it's not noisy, the charger.
No,
so
no, absolutely. I mean, the car sounds fantastic and it drives nice and clean.
so it
and
could have just
straight.
been missold power.
It could exactly that. It could
Yeah.
have. It could never have made. You know, it might never have made that power that they claimed
That's
back in the day.
So let's
Who
see.
knows? Yeah.
We'll stay tuned with that because I'm actually quite interested to see what Chris finds. Let's head over to the main workshop and see what the boys are getting up to there as well. So in the workshop, let me just adjust the focus here. I think Chris is going to go on the dyno because I can hear the fans. So, right, I'm with Kyle. So we're back on this project. So Kyle is busy building the engine up. Going to get some nice big turbos. I think they are 1800X or 2000X. I'll have to have a look. Big turbos. So Kyle's job now is to finish the whole back end, every nut and bolt finish. Then we're going to get this engine, turbos on a subframe, send it up in the air, see what it needs. Anything else, Kyle? Just pretty much just getting organised with it, aren't you?
Just fully organised, sorting all the bolts out, just pretty much fine tuning everything so it's precise.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a difficult job, this one, because Kyle's took this job on. It was already started before he started, so he's done a couple of big builds at GM already, so it's he knows the cars now, so it's a case of just finding out where everything is and getting it together. Obviously he's doing the boxes at GM, so he knows them inside out now. So this back end's going to be done first, then he's going to focus on the engine. It's going dry sump as well, so stay tuned for progress on this car. And then we've got Warren's GTR. Kyle's going to be dropping the box in this in the next day or so.
But I'll probably get it done today.
He's probably going to drop the gearbox in this today because that gearbox is going to go. The customer has sold it and it's going to go into that GTR. So it's swap. And yeah, so basically you're working between 3 ramps. Busy times. So Warren, your car's finally started, mate. The project has begun. Right, I'm now going to see Dean. Let's go and see Dean. So, back with Dean. So let's have a quick span at Paul's car. He's been working on it all week. Engine's in. I believe he said to me yesterday he's close to starting it. Dean?
Yo.
How far are we from starting this beast?
Just getting ready now, doing the final checks, so next 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes.
Just fire up.
Ah, yeah.
There we go. Who wants to watch the start up? Are you confident?
Oh, I'm confident. Like,
Confident.
Yeah.
If he's doing 2,000 horsepower starters, I'm sure he can do 1,001. Is that right? Is that how it works?
1,000 plus.
Right, let's go and see Scott then. He is working on this BMW, Scott, what is it? M what?
M3.
M3. I always get mixed up M3, M4, M5. Not M5s, but M3 and M4. So Scott, tell us a little bit about what you're doing on this BMW M3.
So today we are fitting a radiator for the charge cooler, but we have previously done rear diff bracing on the back of it, give us more stability on the rear diff. We've got a couple of maintenance things on the exhaust to take care of, so we'll get the parts ordered and get them fitted.
Yeah, so as you heard, Scott's recently been doing some work on the rear as well, so did you have the diff out as well, yeah?
I've had the diff out,
Yeah,
yes.
so he's done that, now he's moving to the front, so let's have a quick look. Obviously, probably not much to see,
Not a lot to see now, we're just taking the front end off.
but it's a nice colour car.
Lovely.
BMW M3, and it's going to get the Scotty treatment. Right, let's go to the engine room. We're not going to go in the engine room because Jimmy's out on test drive, so I'm going to leave that for now. And there's probably not much to see really. He's been stripping that fire engine. So yeah, so I am now going to let the boys crack on. So back to the dyno. Jimmy and Chris are looking at this. Lovely engine. Is this a V8? It
is.
It is a V8. Good guess.
Demon V8 Supercharger on it as well.
There we go.
Slap that like Haggy.
So the boys are having a look at that to see. Haggy. Oh. Shots fired. Right, back to the office.
Right, so that's the end of another busy week here. That's the footage we've got. I hope you enjoyed it. Some quite technical stuff in there as well. If you're enjoying this content, please make sure to like and subscribe and follow the channel, and there'll be more coming next week. Thanks a lot, guys. Slap that like Haggy.